Where are you guys from? Hey man, yeah, we're firefighters from Oregon. And so, if there's one thing I hate, it's when people and news organizations hear a rumor, right? And they just spread this rumor. And guess what? That's what I did. Now, I had read this, I'd seen this, that there was a bottleneck and people coming from out of state and their fire trucks had to go to Sacramento for smog certification, which seems so ridiculous, seeing as how LA's on fire. Well, that's a half truth. And we all know that half truths are what? Whole lies. So there is something that says that if you're coming from out of state, you have an from whatever organization or department you happen to be a part of, you're out of state, you got to go to Sacramento and get a smog cert, make sure that you have one. Guess what? That's waived in case of emergencies. And I'd say that LA on fire is definitely an emergency. So I heard about this bottleneck where there was like 60 fire trucks that were held up in Sacramento because they needed a smog certification. And I saw it on different news stations. I read about it, and I went with it. But why was it believable in the first place? Well, as a former Californian, I can tell you that the whole thing has been grossly mismanaged. You can talk about having to save the smelt and the spotted owl, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but water has to get to where it needs to go. And there's a whole issue on that, and I don't want to talk about that. I'm already almost 2 minutes into this. And by the way, one of the places that were reporting this was the Santa Monica Observer. It's interesting to note that in 2016, Santa Monica Observer reported that Hillary Clinton had died and that she was replaced by a body double. Anyway, I thought the video was kind of funny, and it came from an honest place. But I just was spreading bullshit. And at the end of the day, it made me kind of look like an asshole. Two things that I don't want to be or do. And not for the sake of offending people. I'm so sick of that word, honestly. It's not for that. But it's, in times of crisis, now I'm in Houston. And I can't stand it when people from out of state, and they love to do this. When we have a natural disaster, or we have any disaster, they like to weigh in. And the only reason I'm weighing in on this is because I used to be a Californian. And I know how mismanaged it is. Sorry, I got a call. But yeah, I know how mismanaged it is, and it sucks. And it sucks, especially now, as I have friends that have lost everything. I have, obviously, know people that have lost everything, and also people that are fighting it. And it's terrible, And it's so important that people pull together in times of crisis, and and not spread this kind of thing. It's not right. Everybody knows I'm no Gavin Newsom fan. But there's plenty there to criticize. Plenty. California is what it is. And there's plenty to criticize there. We don't have to make stuff up. So I apologize. That's on me. I should have looked into it a little more than I did. But when I heard about it, when I read about it, when I heard about something that happened that was like that, really pissed me off. And I just I thought I was doing the right thing and kind of shedding a light on something with a little bit of comedy. But it turns out I was wrong. So I own it, and I apologize. I love you. God bless you. Let his face shine upon you, give you great peace. Be excellent to yourself and each other. Oh, and by the way, if you're still watching this, to the person that called me out on this, I appreciate it. I don't think we have to be snarky and bad and mean to each other. But I appreciate it. And I understand where it comes from. So, thank you. Talk soon.